The Winter Evening, by Anonymous. Hark, tease the twanging horn o'er yonder bridge, that with its wearisome but needful length bestrides the wintry flood, in which the moon sees her unwrinkled face reflected bright. He comes, the herald of a noisy world, with spattered boots, strapped waist, and frozen locks. News from all nations lumbering at his back, true to his charge, the close-backed load behind. Yet careless what he brings, his one concern is to conduct it to the destined inn, and having dropped expected bag, pass on. He whistles as he goes, light-hearted wretch, cold and yet cheerful, messenger of grief perhaps to thousands, and of joy to some, to him indifferent whether grief or joy. Houses in ashes, and the fall of stocks, births, deaths, and marriages, epistles wet with tears, that trickled down the writer's cheeks fast as the periods from his fluent quill. Or charged with amorous sighs of absent swains, or nymphs responsive, equally affect his horse and him, unconscious of them all. But oh, the important budget, ushered in with such heart-shaking music, who can say what are its tidings? Have our troops awacked, or do they still, as if with opium drugged, snore to the murmurs of the Atlantic wave? Is India free? And does she wear her plumed and jeweled turban with a smile of peace? Or do we grind her still? The grand debate, the popular harangue, the tart reply, the logic and the wisdom and the wit and the loud laugh, I long to know them all. I burn to set the imprisoned wranglers free, and give them voice and ants once again. Now stir the fire and close the shutters fast, let fall the curtains, wheel the sofa round, and while the bubbling and loud hissing urn throws up a steamy column, and the cups that cheer but not inebriate wait on each, so let us welcome peaceful evening in. Not such as evening, who with shining face sweats in the crowded theater, and squeezed and bored with elbow points through both his sides. Outscolds the ranting actor on the stage, nor his, who patient stands till his feet throb, and his head thumps, to feed upon the breath of patriots bursting with heroic rage, or placemen, all tranquility and smiles. This folio of 4 pages, happy work, which not e'en critics criticize, that holds inquisitive attention while I read, fast bound in chains of silence, which the fair though eloquent themselves, yet fear to break. What is it but a map of busy life, its fluctuations and its vast concerns? Here runs the mountainous and craggy ridge that tempts ambition. On the summit, see, the seals of office glitter in his eyes, he climbs, he pants, he grasps them. At his heels, close at his heels, a demagogue ascends, and with a dexterous jerk soon twists him and wins them but to lose them in his turn. Here rills of oily eloquence in soft meanders lubricate the course they take. The modest speaker is and grieved to engross a moment's notice, and yet begs a propitious ear for his poor thoughts, however trivial all that he conceives. Sweet bashfulness! It claims at least this praise, the dearth of information and good sense that it foretells us, always comes to pass. Cataracts of declamation thunder here. Their forests of no meaning spread the page, in which all comprehension wanders lost, while fields of pleasantry amuse us there with merry descants on a nation's woes. The rest appears a wilderness of strange but gay confusion, roses for the cheeks, and lilies for the brows of faded age, teeth for the toothless, ringlets for the bald, heaven, earth, and ocean, plundered of their sweets, nectareous essences, Olympian dews, sermons and city feasts, and favorite airs, ethereal journeys, submarine exploits. And Caterfelto, with his hair on end at his own wonders, wondering for his bread. 'Tis pleasant, through the loopholes of retreat, to peep at such a world, to see the stir of the great Babel, and not feel the crowd, to hear the roar she sends through all her gates at a safe distance, where the dying sound falls a soft murmur on the uninjured ear. Thus sitting, and surveying thus at ease the globe and its concerns, I seem to some secure and more than mortal height. That liberates and exempts me from them all. It turns submitted to my view, turns round with all its generations. I behold the tumult, and am still. The sound of war has lost its terrors ere it reaches me, grieves, but alarms me not. I mourn the pride and avarice that make man a wolf to man. Hear the faint echo of those brazen throats by which he speaks the language of his heart, and sigh, but never tremble at the bound. He travels and expatiates, as the bee from flower to flower, so he from land to land. The manners, customs, policy of all pay contribution to the store he gleans. He sucks intelligence in every clinic, and spreads the honey of his deep research at his return. A rich repast for me, he travels and I too. I tread his deck, ascend his topmast, through his peering eyes discover countries, with a kindred heart suffer his woes and share in his escapes, while fancy, like the finger of a clock, runs the great circuit and is still at home. Note, Caterfelto, a quack then exhibiting in London.